much for joining me. I do appreciate your company. Now, what have we got tonight? Well, as you can see, something a bit you might think is abstract, but it's not going to end up that way. It just starts out looking very, very strange. So this actually, Lauren, if you're watching, this actually comes from you doing the wall. She's done a part of her hallway in green, and it just made me think of something that I saw a long time ago. So I've done a little miniature which has given me some ideas. So this is where we're going. So what have I done? First off, I did my usual with the white gesso on the canvas first. Then I added some linseed oil, and then I took my sap green and a little bit of black and just did up and down all over, a little bit across the bottom. She says getting it on the hands. And then I took a little bit of titanium white and I just daubed a little bit in the middle. Now I've done no blending, no nothing. All right, so I'm now going to start and do a little bit of blending, and I'm going to start from here, which is inside, and we're just going to blend it out a little bit. Soften up the edges, but we do want to keep this white spot. Now I may take that, bring a little bit more green into this, take it up a little bit further, and then as we come in, maybe a few little distant branches of trees, just hinting at them in the distance, maybe. Because the idea is that you're in the forest and that's in the distance. What I'm also going to do before I start is, before I pick up my palette, this is all before I've actually got to the palette, I'm going to take a bit of rolled up kitchen paper. I've got paint on me already, look, and it's red. I'm not even using red yet. And what will happen is these little bits will shine through. You may see them, may not. Don't worry about whether it's perfect or not. They will show up as little trees and leaves and bushes and stuff all in the distance, which is what we're looking for. Now we'll get to the palette. Okay, what have we got today? So we have got quite a limited palette for me, to be honest. Obviously we've got a bit of titanium white. We've got some ivory black, Van Dyke brown, dark sienna. I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, I will be scrolling them across the bottom. Sap green, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, cadmium yellow, and a little bit of bright red. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit more titanium white. I'm going to make that a little bit brighter, just in the middle there. That's all I'm going to do. All right. So I've changed round my hut, and hi James, hi Melissa. I've called it the Emerald Forest, but we'll see what it turns out to be. So now I'm going to just go into the sap green on its own, and we're just going to, no, I'm going to have to take a little bit of titanium white with it, because the trouble is with sap green is it is a very transparent colour. And if Lauren, if you're watching, this is your fault. If you're not watching, why aren't you watching? Okay, we'll just put some dark green bits of trees in the distance. So just to show that we're in the forest, and literally all I'm doing, as you can see, don't worry if you've got some thick ones, we'll start some up there, bring them down, because you won't see bits because the light's behind them. a little bit of green, a little bit of white. Okay, here and there, and over here we'll have some darker ones. Okay, so this is all just background at the moment. So this is all my forest. So that gives you some ideas that there's a few little things in the dark, in the distance. Now I'm going to go to my fan brush, I think. Lauren, you got the blame. What's my fault? It's not Somo, it's not my fault. The green is your fault. Because we were talking about green and you did your whole green. And that made me think of this painting. Gave me the idea for it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the dark and we're just going to put in a tree trunk. Just one great big old tree trunk right there. Well, he's got a friend, as Bob used to say. And there we are. And then as your paint runs out, you can put in some more in the distance. You press hard, you get a bit more colour. A little bit of light. Picking up a bit of white as well. There we are. We'll pick up some more. I nearly went over to the wrong colours. Okay, he's going to be a big strong one right at the front. So we better make him a bit bigger really, hadn't we? If he's going to be the really big tree at the front there. There we are. We'll have a couple behind him. And then, like so, as the colours go in, then we'll maybe have, because they'll disappear in the light, if the light is shining bright enough. Okay? And again, just anything and everything just in the background, just to show that you've got lots of trees and things going on. Alright? In fact, let's make this one another strong tree. We'll give him, as it Bob used to say, we'll give him a friend. Everybody needs friends. Well, that's true, I guess. Oh, I better go round the corner, haven't I? We'll put a tree round the corner so that you can see some. Okay, and again, so some in the distance. There we go. Okay, this is a bit out there and a bit abstract for me, I know. But it makes sense as we go on. Now, as I was saying, I've turned, completely different, we got that, yeah. I've turned things around a little bit. I've obviously moved the easel over here now, and also I've put my mixing bucket over there, so I'm no longer mixing, you know, reaching over past people. Oh, before we do that, I better put in a little bit of, we need a little bit of light reflecting on these trays. So, and then as the colour mixes with the brown, then you can do some of these other ones in the back inside here. Okay, and we'll come back to it. And because this is your light source, we'll put some light on that side of the tree, and he'll have a little bit on the right side of his, and there, there, and there, and there. Okay, so there we go. And you'll see where I'm going with it eventually. There we are. Alright. Oh, it's because I've moved everything over, I've lost it all now. How's everyone doing anyway? Is everybody okay? Angel. Okay, so now I'm mixing a little bit of the 2 browns, and we're going to start putting in, so a little bit of Van Dyke, a little bit of the dark or burnt sienna, dark sienna, whatever you've got, and then we'll start adding the branches. These don't make them straight, so as you will see, I'm holding the brush right at the very end, and that means everything's a bit dodgy. I'm going to come down a little bit with him as well. He's going to have branches going off here as well. Not dodgy, but a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? They shake. They're not like when you're doing grass, that everything's dead straight. Cross some over. I said I would take him up, so we'll take him up over the top. And take that over there. Okay, that's one tree done. If you start running out, and just mix a little bit more. Now don't forget, okay, that one's going to go across there because he's in front. Decided this is my front tree, so he's going to be in front of that one. Okay, and there we are. Do you say you're getting your COVID jab, Lauren? Look at you. Still waiting for mine. I really want it. There we go. Sorry, I'm just concentrating a little bit. Okay, we'll do this one as well. We'll make him another fairly strong one, so I'm going to take him right the way up. Okay, are we starting to see where I'm going with this? Somebody please say yes. There we go. Now I'm hoping you can see this okay. The idea that nobody could see what I was doing properly was the meaning behind. I'm just going to bring that down. It was behind all the change rounds, so I'm hoping that everybody, this is a better camera angle and everybody can see things a bit better. Of course, I forgot you're a carer, so yes, you will do. I think we're in the next group because I'm in the over 60s, so. Right, and I'm just going to put a few little branches. Okay, you're not going to see lots. That's a little bit dark, but there you go. And then just make sure you've got, my fire's just gone out. But that's okay because it was actually quite warm. I could not believe it. It was so warm today. Husband and I were outside. We're actually working in here and outside, putting new shelves up. And it got so hot. Both of us were down to t-shirt, and short sleeves. It was beautiful. And then I came out to put the chickens away and oh my goodness me. How cold was that? Okay, don't worry about some of these branches because they look like, okay, this one's going behind this tree, but in front of that one. So we stop it at that tree and take it on up there. I will put a little bit of reflected light on here so that we can see the fact that we've got the light going. There we are. Just shaking up out some trees. Are we in a forest? Yay! Lauren, we are in a forest. So it obviously looks a bit like a forest. We're in a forest and we're taking, oh, because I did a dog, so we might be taking Kaiser for a walk. How's that? I did somebody in the distance taking their dog for a walk on my piece, but it depends how brave I feel because I'm not very good at doing humans or dogs. Right, so I'm going to take a little bit of white and add a little bit of white to this because I feel that that's coming off there and not looking like it belongs to a different tree. So if we just add some of the light reflecting on it, then it'll look like it's on the same tree. Okay, and I'll give that a bit of reflected light as well. So we'll do the same over here. You just need a little bit here and there. Obviously it's going to be shady, it's not going to be everywhere. The light's just going to be bouncing through, hitting this bit and that bit, but missing that, so there we are. Okay, and that just ties it all in a little bit, gives it all a little bit of, they are attached. That one I'm going to do because I think that one once it gets out here. So there we go. Alright, so we've got a little bit of reflected light. Carry that on. And then these ones you can do just a little bit here and there. Okay, there we go. Again, I've done that too hard, so take my fan brush and just rub it and it goes away. Okay, that's what I love about this. Okay, so there we go. What I am going to do is take a little bit of the sap green with a little bit of the white, and we're just going to do a few trees that they look like they're green, but they're just hanging off. They're growing there in the light a little bit, because this side will be a little bit darker, I guess. Little bits of things that are growing, a little bit of everything. Okay, there we are. So I'm actually going to make that middle piece now a little bit darker. I'm just feeling it's a little, I know I've just done those and it's just going to, but I'm just going to do them a little bit darker. I just fancy my path going off into the distance. So we'll do it, it will be, now I'll just bring everything down and we'll start again with that bit. That's better, happier with that now. Okay, so if we take some of our green and we start putting in some little bits of grasses coming down towards the path. Now I'm just tapping. That's all I'm doing, just tapping. I'm just getting some on my brush. Just tapping it down. Because I'm going to have a path that goes there, so I'm going to want some hillside to come down to it. There we go. I'll take this round the corner. There we go. So, going back to the lighter, because this will be lighter, it's going to have the light reflecting on it. A little bit more green. There we are. Okay, how are we doing? It would look lovely on your green wall, Lauren. There we go, and then we'll bring that down. So, we've got a little bit in the distance. Again, we'll have some of the white. I'm just going to do a few things that are in the distance. So that's my path. Add a little bit of greenery, a little bit of sap green rather. This side of the path is going to be quite straight. So I'm going to put a little bit over here. And that's going to be quite a bit darker, because obviously that's deeper in the forest. We'll put little bushes and stuff all in there. Okay, and then we'll have that one there. And then we'll have that one going straight across there. Okay, again, we're just tapping. And a little bit there. Okay, now there we are. Just a little something going off into the distance there. You don't quite know what, but it's a little something. All right, now this is my path. So I'm going to get rid of all these brushes I happen to have in my hands. So I'm going to take a little bit of the two browns, a little bit of the yellow ochre, and a little bit of the titanium white. Obviously the lighter at the end. And I'm just going to start very, very lightly. So it's just going to disappear off into who knows what. And then I'm going to bring my path down. Okay? Don't worry if you pick up some of the green. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you pick up the green, because you're in a forest path, so that is going to pick up all sorts of colours, and then that's going to go off there somewhere. Alright, so that's going to be my path. There we are. Now I'm going to set it down in the ground a little bit by taking some of the green, mixing it with a little bit of the brown, and we're just going to have a few little bits coming out over the path, just to say, there we are. So that'll just set the path down into the painting a little bit. All right. A little bit around here. There we are. Okay. So, what have we got now? What are we going to do now? We are going to do, what time? Oh, we've got plenty of time now. Okay, so here we go. You saw it here first. I don't often do this. Okay, but I am going to take quite white. Okay, so I'm going to take a little circle, because this person's quite away in the distance, maybe a little bit darker. Don't want it too dark. If I don't like it and it doesn't go well, people, then it goes in, it becomes a bush or something. Okay, so there's the person's head. Body. The arm is coming out. We have something a little bit darker. So we'll have a little bit of hair on his head. A little bit of the body coming down, and then we'll have sorry if I'm concentrating, but this does have to look somewhat like a dog. A couple of ears. There. And there's someone walking a dog. Now, what I did think of as well was that over here I would mix up some woodland colours and do a little bit of a park bench, but scared to do it in case it's wrong. Okay, so going to have park bench here-ish. Okay, here's my park bench. We'll have like there, like there, like there. Okay, a little bit of colour. Just adding a little bit of highlight to it, make it look like a little bit of wood. Okay, a little bit there. There, that's my little park bench. Now, I did attempt and put a little lady on it on the other one. Shall I try that again? Let me have a little look. Okay, so we had some yellow because we had some hair. Okay, then we had, now I haven't got the different colours here, so she's going to have a red top. Okay. Just give her a little bit of shadow underneath her arms so that you can see she's got some arms and she's not just sitting there. Let me just quickly get some blue. I've got some, what have I got? I've got Prussian blue here. I'll take a little bit of Prussian blue, she can have some jeans on, yeah? How's that? So, you'll need Prussian blue as well, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I'll take some Prussian blue, a little bit of white. A little bit of black because it's quite bright for jeans. Okay, so the legs. And come down like that. We got trainers on or we got shoes, boots on? Let's have trainers. you say she's reading a book? Or a newspaper? No, she'll be reading a little book. So if we mix all these colours together, we should come up with, there we are, a little book. Now the one thing I haven't done is given her a face. That wasn't very nice of me really, was it? Okay, so we'll put a little bit of colour on and then we'll just, no, I'm not going to do features. There we go. Alright, so I don't know if you can see her. I'm going to give her a little bit more yellow hair so that you might be able to see it a bit better. There we go. Don't know if you can see her any better now, but and of course, if you don't want to do people, you don't have to do people. There we go. You can always have a look in at the man with the dog. All right. Okay, what you can do if you want, do some leaves on the trees. I'm quite happy with those the way they are. I might do a few little dots for a few little flowers here and there. Because you're in the forest, you will have some flowers. So just dot in some various colours. Pick up on the red. Just a few here and there. Actually, you could have some white, because daisies are white, aren't they? And they're always in clumps, daisies. So we can have some, and all I'm doing is letting the brush split, and I'm letting the brush do the work. Alright? Better do some over the other side, I don't want to leave it out, do we? There we go. Just move your brush around. Change the direction, changes the shape. A few little yellow ones maybe. There we are. Okay. And I think that is ready for a signature. Now you've got all that. You got your the forest, the man walking, the little lady reading the dog, reading the book, a little bit of mist. I like that. I will show you the one that I did, because this is part of my process. When I'm not sure, or I have an idea and I'm not sure how it's going to work, I tend to do a little tiny one first, and then that makes me work stuff out. So that's the one I did first off, that gave me where to place things and what to do with things. It's a little bit darker. I haven't done so much down the edges. I could go back with a little bit of the dark and the green and just show that there's a little bit of shadow underneath some of these. Flatten it off a little bit so it looks a little bit more like shadow. I'll come in amongst there because there we are. Okay, so that sort of flattens it all and brings it all together a little bit more. All right, but you know, it's up to you. But that's my idea of what I do. I do it in small first, tiny, and then I work it out. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you'll give it a go. It is a strange one to start with, I know, because it starts all green, but sometimes I just think you've got to start with something unusual and create from it. And I must admit, I'm really pleased with that. I really like it. It's a bit unusual for me, but I enjoy it. It will be, when it's dry, up on the website, rbart.co.uk/store. Thank you very much for your company. I do enjoy it. I hope you will catch this up on YouTube if you haven't been able to see me live tonight. I will be back again next week, but that might be the last one, because Mr. Johnson has announced that from the 8th of March everything is going to start opening up. So in effect that means the lockdown is over. So I will do next week. That I should think that probably will be my last one, my last live. So if you have any ideas of what you want me to do, and Lauren, I don't want to do a snowman. Snowmen are over, okay? But yeah, please do let me know. And like I say, thank you very much for your company. I really do appreciate it, because it's not the same when you're having to paint on your own. So take care, have a great week. Don't forget, check out the website rbart.co.uk. Stay safe, stay home, get your vaccinations. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.